where they say 600 Apache warriors attacked the city of Tucson in modern-day Arizona. When you think about what Geronimo was able to do with 30 or 35 warriors in the 1880s against a much more sophisticated enemy, makes you wonder how the Spanish ever dealt with 600 Apaches. The Spanish were eventually evicted from the New World by a revolution, and the government of Mexico took over. This happened in the early 1800s. The revolution broke out in 1810. By 1830, you have Mexico, and Mexico controlled the whole American Southwest.
Your head hurts, man.
Emancipated from Spain. Texas was part of Mexico. Arizona, New Mexico, California was part of Mexico. So was all the Apache
You want
land.
my sunglasses?
Let's understand something too. The Spanish didn't think there was any Apache land. They claimed all that territory for Spain. And then when the Mexicans inherited the Spanish land, they didn't think any of that was Apache either. When the United States arrived on the scene, which is in the 1830s and
You want
1840s,
ibuprofen?
they think that land's all Mexican too.
Yeah.
They end up having a war with Mexico in the 1840s, the Mexican-American War. And that and something called the Gadsden Purchase right afterwards gives them control of all of these states that used to be Spanish before they were Mexican, that are now American. Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, California, those places. Then they inherited this group of Apaches whose land they didn't recognize. You see, the Americans didn't steal the land from the Apaches. The Spanish did. And then the Mexicans inherited it from the Spanish. And then the Americans took it from the Mexicans. And the Apache were just sort of there the whole time going, this is ours. Nobody recognized them as a significant factor unless and until they were out there killing people and causing problems. And I often like to speculate how it might have been if violence had never broken out between the Americans and the Apaches, because it didn't look like it had to at first. The Americans arrived on the scene after getting all this land. The Apache land was right on the border, the new border between the U.S. and Mexico. And the Apaches looked like they might have been content to just stay at peace with the Americans. They were still going to be a warrior people. They were still going to raid, but they would just raid the Mexicans. And then to their delight, they found that the Mexicans wouldn't cross this border. So they could raid the Mexicans, and then when they were being chased or pursued, they could just run over this invisible line, and the Mexicans wouldn't follow them. This became one of the classic Chiricahua and related band Apache techniques. Use the border to evade pursuit. If the Americans were chasing you, run into Mexico. If the Mexicans were chasing you, run into the U.S. It turned out to be a wonderful gift to the Apaches that the border ran right through their territory. A lot of other Native American tribes would have loved to have had that advantage. The Sioux, for example, there was no place for them to run. Do you think if the Sioux and tribes like that, those Plains Indian tribes, they were the ones who wore the stereotypical Hollywood feathered headdresses? Some of them were so flamboyant, they'd have their horse made up with feathered headdresses and stuff too. That wasn't what the Apache was. The average Chiricahua type Apache
I still don't feel
would be
better.
dressed so much more simply.
Well, you look better.
A Spanish or Mexican shirt on,
Guys,
breech clout, which is a long
in the
piece
chat,
of cloth
not in the chat.
that you would pull up
Everybody,
under the front of your
if you
belt,
think she looks
weave
good,
between
put
your legs,
hashtag
and flap over the
sunglasses.
back of your belt, and hang
It'll be
down
funny.
two ends between your legs about.
Because you look good.
They had
You do. You look
buckskin,
really cute.
knee-high moccasins that they
You
wore.
even got them on right.
And usually these
Even
moccasins
cuter.
had a material where you could roll them up all the
Now
way
they're
to
on,
the
right?
thighs if it was cold. And then for head adornment, your average Chiricahua type Apache simply had a strip of cloth.
I forgot that you had
or
your front
scarf
teeth
tied over their
again.
long black hair, keep it out of
I
their
keep
face.
forgetting.
They were extremely utilitarian.
Like
The
last
Apaches
month,
were
just
supposed to
last
be
month,
able to
I noticed.
cover more than 25
Like
miles
pretty
of
much
coast.
just last month. That's when I noticed that she had front teeth. We saw
They lived in country that could get to be 120 degrees
did.
Fahrenheit easily. The Apache were mountain people, but between all these mountain ranges that they used to love to live in were these desert valleys that got hot as hell. If you didn't bring lots of water and lots of supplies with you,
Oh, yeah.
whole army columns could, die of thirst in that kind of terrain.
It was beautiful.
The Apache being the ultimate survivalist. I always think of the Apache as an extreme example of a human type.
So let me think.
I often like to say that, you know, all we people are like cars.
This thing that I'll be doing
And most people
for
in the
my
world today
videos
are like
when,
Fords and Chevys. And
if I stop
Nixons
making
and
videos
Lambs
for a
and all
while,
kinds of different But some people are like Ferraris,
I might end YouTube. I might just end my
specifically
YouTube
geared
channel then.
for unique
But-
tasks.
I've really been thinking
I think of
about
the
that.
Spartan hoplites, for
But-
example.
If
These warriors
I do
bred,
end
born,
it-
and designed, perfected to just be warriors.
If
An
I'm gonna
extreme
make
example of
completely
warrior.
ended, I might still make like
Fascinating.
music videos and stuff.
A
But
Mongol horse archer
I don't
from
know.
the 13th century. Same thing. You know, that
So
amazing archer that was almost
Yeah.
one person with that
that's what's
horse.
going on with me.
I'd love to see that on video.
But
What they look like. It's an extreme example of a human type. Well, the Apache was also an extreme example of a human type.
yeah, but
These
if I don't,
survivalist machines.
then
They knew every
for
inch of their
review
territory,
tomorrow,
where every cave was,
I'm
where
gonna
every
make one
watering
tomorrow.
hole was. They used to stash
Um,
food and ammunition,
It's either
cooking
gonna be a
utensils
music
and
video or like a
clothing
Roblox or Minecraft
gear
video.
in the
Probably
mountains,
Roblox. It's been a while since
in
I did
places
one
where no
of those, but
You'd get the Apaches trapped
We'll
in their
find
home
out.
mountains,
We'll see.
and you'd think they'll eventually come out when they run out of stuff, and a lot of times they had stuff already stashed away in those mountains. What a resourceful people. They could hide better than any people, I think, in the world,
Reactions.
especially in that terrain. That was the main thing the Apaches
I
had
mean,
going
for-
them that allowed them
I
to
can
be a
either
thorn
not
in the
do a
side
video
of
at
the
all,
United
or I
States
can do a
government
music
longer than any
video,
other
or I can
Native
do a
American government.
Minecraft video or a
If you
Roblox
would
video.
agree.
There's 4 options for me.
John Cremeny was a soldier fighting the hostile Apaches in the 1860s.
Yeah, I know.
And he
I was
worked
just
with
talking
Apache
about
scouts.
that.
And he didn't
So,
understand
that's
why they
probably
just
what
couldn't
I'm
find
gonna
these
do.
Apaches in the mountains. And one of his Apache scouts volunteered to hide right in front of him while he was there and defy him to find the Apache.
That's what I do. I don't,
While crossing
I
an
don't even know. I'm not
extensive
making
prairie,
sense anymore.
dotted here and there by a few shrubs,
I don't
and
make
green
sense
bushes,
anymore, guys.
Quick Killer, the Apache
I'm going
scout,
insane.
volunteered while resting at noon to show me with what dexterity an Apache
I'm
could
tired.
conceal
I don't even know
himself,
what to talk
even when no
about.
special opportunity existed for such concealment. The offer was readily accepted, and we proceeded a short
It's
distance
early
until we came to a small bush, hardly sufficient to hide a rabbit. Taking his stand behind this bush, he said, "Turn your back and wait until I give the signal." This proposition did not exactly
Actually, I think
suit
we're
my
just giving
ideas
her
of
away.
Apache character, and I said, "No, I'll walk forward until you tell me to stop." This was agreed upon, and quickly drawing my pistol, keeping a furtive glance over my shoulder, I advanced.
Yeah,
But had not gone
she's
10
going
steps
like
when
people
Quick
that are
Killer
getting
hailed me to
into-
stop and find me.
yeah,
I
she's
returned
going
to
with
the bush, went around it
she's
3 or
going
4
with
times,
the
looked in every direction. There was no possible hiding place in sight.
So at least
The prairie
we're
was
giving her
entirely
the
smooth and
people that we
unbroken,
know.
and it seemed as if the earth
not today.
had opened up and swallowed
Of course
this
not
Apache.
today. We still have like today and tomorrow.
Being unable to
spend
discover
time
him,
with
I
her.
called and asked him to come forth, when to my extreme surprise, he arose laughing and rejoiced within 2 feet of the position I then occupied. Cremony says that the Apache buried himself in the sand.
And we were all talking
Under
about
a
like
bunch of
getting like a
grass.
chihuahua.
have lots more fun.
Like I'm like,
He
oh, how about a
arose
pit bull? But and I'm like,
right
oh
in
right,
front.
and not a pit bull. I mean, I'm like, oh, how about a bulldog? And I'm like, oh right, their eyes are always nasty.
Dude,
So and then I'm like, how about a
Not just that,
chihuahua?
the
And then
Apache
said,
women
but then
were as
Mama say
dangerous
that they
often
always
as
get
their
sick. And
James
she's like, no, I never
Cowakeler
said
told
that.
Eve Ball that his mother often left him with his
And,
grandmother so she could go
so-
fight with her husband against the Mexicans and the Americans.
And I said, I think
She would usually load his
our
rifle
friend
in heat
CDB
battle,
has.
but she was a
Chihuahua.
crack shot herself.
I think she
A
does.
lot of Indian tribes were not really good
I know
gunners.
on
The
Ample had
Apaches were the
Chihuahua. They're
exception to
too
the rule.
small.
His mother
They can
He
go
said
under anything.
killed several
pretty much
human
anything.
beings on several
The one on
occasions.
Apple had
with
Chihuahua.
What if it runs away from you?
And then he talks about someone he calls a warrior woman.
That
Someone
it would be
Eve Ball
easy
heard
for a
about them.
Chihuahua to
Several
get hit by a
Apache
car and die,
subjects.
or get eaten by a German Shepherd.
This was Victorio's sister, Lotzen.
I'm just making a reference to Family Guy.
And Lotzen
Yes,
was
you know.
every bit the warrior
Where
man
cats
was. A
get
crack
eaten.
shot with a rifle.
By Hawk.
James Cowakeler talks
yeah,
about
they do.
battle
I forgot
scenes
about
going
that.
on. And Lotzen in the
Maybe
thick of
that's
the
what
battle
happened
doing
to,
heroic things.
Gray, gray, and
Spot.
misty.
She never married. She fought with the
Spot. Spot.
And Lotzen had a magical, mystical
I
power
loved Spot.
given to her by the
She
Apache
was
god.
the most
The
beautiful
Apaches
dog I
believed
ever
that
had.
she could tell where enemies
Spot,
were.
Spot, I don't care.
Victoria
She was the most
said,
beautiful cat we
"Lutsen
ever
was a
had.
huge
Her and Whiskers were just.
No, we sold her.
And James Kawatha said that
Gave
the
her
way she would do this
away.
is hold her arms outstretched and slowly turn
did?
around in
Yeah.
a circle.
No, we
while
were
praying,
outside once and then
and the
they
Apache
just never
God
came back.
would let her know where the enemies were.
Her and the
The
original
Apaches
Kaiki never
believed in
came
these
back.
powers and that some people had them. Geronimo was supposed to have had some as well.
Stripe
Geronimo
and
was supposed to,
Betsy
on
got
several
some.
occasions, have made the sun stop climbing in the
Stripe
sky
died.
so the Apaches could get away in darkness. He's supposed to have
That was
known
Stripe.
about distant events occurring.
The one with the pink
Once he
paw?
jumped up from a meal with
But
a raiding
Stripe's a
party and
little
said that their
girl.
camp, hundreds of miles away, had just
Yeah,
been
but
attacked.
Stripe.
And the Apaches
she
got up on their
didn't
horses
die.
and rode back to the camp, and sure enough, it had been attacked. That was
We
Geronimo's
sold her.
power.
Oh, right.
The
Yeah.
little Apaches who
Yeah,
told
she was like
Eve
brown
Ball
and
in
stuff.
the
Yeah, now I remember.
1950s that the great Victoria
she
never
was
would have been
Black Cat,
ambushed at
too.
Tres Castillos if Lotson had been with the band at the time. She
No, it's
wasn't.
hard to remember because we don't have pictures of them, but.
Before the Apaches had
So,
been with the
yeah,
Lotson
that's just.
Lotson was there, by the way, though, at the end.
Betsy's already gone.
She was
I
with
forgot
Geronimo
that we even had a cat named
in
Betsy.
1886 at the final
The fuzzy
surrender.
one.
She's one of a small group
Yeah, I
of people
forgot about
photographed
her
being
for a
carted
while.
off to Florida as POWs.
But
And she would die
she didn't
years
really like
later
spend time
on
with
one of
us,
these
so.
POW reservations.
We only
back
still
in the
got
States.
one cat.
These
And
sorts of viruses like
yeah,
smallpox
but
and
too bad.
killing the Apaches and whatnot.
And we should still have another dog, too.
I've often wondered
I'm
what would
not
happen if the
hurting.
Apaches
So we're
not
down to
only
three
were
pets.
but one of the most stupid
So we're about to be down
incidents
to
in
three.
all of Native
three
American
pets.
relations assured that the Apaches would win. I tend to think war would have broken out anyway, but the Americans, when they first arrived on the scene, had peace with the Apaches for about 20 years.
So
And
this has
eventually,
been going for
one
11 minutes. I need to
proving
stop
to us
it.
all
I can't go
how
for
much of
more
a
than
difference one person can make in history.
15. I think
Changed
it's
them. And that road that I told you about from Mexico through Apache country to Arizona that was
Yeah, it's
strewn with
been going for
corpses
so
and bones.
I'll see you
and
guys
broken
next
wagons. All
time.
a result of this one incident.
Bye.
It's a famous story in Apache history.
Sorry.
The incident was triggered, as so many of these
I
Apache
did not
tragedies
turn it
and
off.
misunderstandings